Hello Sonia, my name is Berri, one of Berribot's creations. I will be conducting this interview today. I specialize in assessing candidates' knowledge and skills in their respective fields. Before we begin, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I am Sanya Mehta and I am currently a software development engineer intern at a multinational corporation. And I have great interests in development. I thrive on challenges and opportunities that come into my way. And I often like to take on projects to improve my skills and abilities in order to enhance my skills in this developing field. One of the projects that I did recently was a to-do list MERN app. MERN as in MongoDB, Express.js, React, and Node.js. This project helped me increase my knowledge about full stack development, that is front end and back end. This project had functionalities like adding tasks, deleting tasks, creating tasks, updating tasks, and displaying all the details of an user. It also had functionalities like login and sign up and forgot password and personalized notifications for each and every user. With this project, I also increased my abilities of collaborating with other people and how a project timeline works. Moving on, my short-term goals are getting a job that aligns with my interests and skills. My long-term goals are personal and professional growth continuously so that I can strive in this developing field.
Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate your introduction. I see you're passionate about software development. As an icebreaker, could you share a fascinating fact about technology or programming that you came across recently?
A fascinating fact is how now I am able to give an interview with a bot, not an actual person, but a bot. This is what technology is and how it is advancing over the years. And I am very passionate about learning how all of this works.
Fascinating indeed. Let's move forward with your resume questions. 1. Could you provide more detail on the technical aspects of the projects you have listed, specifically your role and the specific technologies used?
So one of the projects that I mentioned in my resume was a to-do list app using MERN stack. MERN includes MongoDB, Express.js, React, and Node.js. My role was majorly as the backend developer for this, but I also contributed in the front end, that is UI UX of the app, to-do list app. So this was basically including all the CRUD operations, that is create, delete, update. So these functions were for a specific user. So once we log in or sign up to the app, then we can see all the to-do tasks of a particular user. The user can delete it, update it, and create a new task accordingly. And they can set reminders and they'll get notifications as and when the reminder is set.
Thank you for sharing those details, Sonia. 2. As a backend developer in your group project, can you describe a specific challenge you encountered and how you overcame it?
A specific challenge that I encountered was being in contact with the whole group and being on the same page. As a big group, there are always differences of opinions, but we all had good communication and we sat and learned what is actually good for the project and came to a conclusion, and that's how we overcame the challenge of not agreeing on everyone's opinions.
That's an important aspect of teamwork. Thanks for explaining. 3. In terms of software engineering, what steps did you take to ensure seamless integration with the front-end team during your to-do list web app project?
Can you please skip to the next question?
Absolutely, let's move on. 4. Can you provide examples demonstrating your proficiency in foundational cloud concepts, AWS services, and cloud security?
I don't really understand your question. Can you rephrase it?
Certainly. I would like you to share any instances where you may have utilized cloud platforms, specifically AWS. Could you elaborate on any projects where you had to use AWS services? Feel free to discuss any security measures you implemented as well.
As of now, I have not particularly did any projects that included AWS concepts. As I've just started with the cloud practitioner course and I completed it, I I feel like I'm very interested in the cloud concepts. So I might do more certifications in it, and I will implement this in my future projects where I can use services like AWS Lambda, AWS EC2, S3 buckets, and many more services. Also, some storage services like S3 buckets, as I mentioned. And there are many more services available on AWS that I can use. I also learned about identity and access management for each and every user, and that can also be used in the future project aspects.
Alright, we've covered all the resume questions. Now, let's move to some common coding questions. Write a function that takes two numbers as arguments and returns their sum. Thank you, Sonia. You have answered all of the questions. I appreciate the time you've given for this interview.